Hello, YouTube. Hello, Facebook. We are going to take a stretch break today. So let me tell you why I decided to do a stretch break today on our little live workout. If you are sitting a lot, then you're going to start having pain. And unless you lengthen out the muscles that have gotten short when you're sitting, it can cause pain. It can cause other problems. It can cause injury as you try to move through your fit life. So we have to keep our flexibility game, is what I'm saying. We're going to start by getting a little bit warm, and then we're going to do some nice stretches for those affected muscles. Okay, so start at the top of your mat. We're just going to start with a nice little vinyasa flow, very simple and basic. Making sure you can see me. Okay, so big toe is pointed forward. The first thing we always do is check in with our ABCs, alignment, head, ear, shoulder, ribs, hip, thigh bone. Breathing into your lungs. Exhale, navel pulls up and in nice and strong here through the entire core that wraps us all the way around. Core engagement. Navel up and in. Zip up something one size too tight. Make sure that the ribs are all level and flared out forward. Take a breath and reach the hands up, palms face each other. Exhale to take a dive with a flat back. Hands come out wide. Nice flat back here until you get about halfway down. And then release the spine, pull the navel away from the clothes, drop the head. Breathe in, go into a little half lift here with a flat back. Press the crown of your head away. Soften the knees, take the hands down. Put your knees down behind you. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Tuck the tailbone underneath you. Lift your core muscles. We're going to do just a couple of elbow bends from here. Elbows scrape the ribs. Press up. Scrape the ribs. Press up. One more. And then push all the way back onto a child's pose. Sit all the way back on your heels. Open the knees a little bit. Use your body a little bit closer to the ground. Back nice and flat if possible. Take a breath and then tuck your toes under and start to lift your hips toward the sky. So sits bones up, weight gets out of your wrists and towards your heels. Draw the navel away from your thighs and try to get longer through the spine and then sort of ease the heels a little bit closer to the ground. And then walk to the top of your mat. Let's do it again. Maybe a little faster this time. Breathe in and reach up, palms face each other. Exhale. Fold halfway flat and then release the spine, pull the navel up and in. Breathe into a flat back. Exhale, soften the knees, hands come down, knees come back. Breathe, press forward. And then 3 little push-ups. 1, 2, and all the way back to child's pose. Sitting on your heels, open the knees, tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Weight pressing towards the heels. And step all the way forward. And breathe and reach up. Exhale, fold. Half lift. Soften the knees. Hands down, knees back. Press forward. 3 push-ups. 3, 2, 1. Push all the way back. Child's pose. Downward facing dog. And breathe and relax. Okay, lift your right leg. Swing it forward, set it down by your hands. Set the back knee down if the thigh bone. Press your hips forward, pull the shoulders back, and pull your navel away from your thigh. So belly button pulled up and in, hips are moving forward and somewhat down. So what we're doing here is we're stretching the psoas, which goes from your quadricep in the front of your thigh all the way through your pelvis and then breathe, ease yourself into it. Press your tailbone down slightly and the crown of your head up slightly. But navel is always pulled up and in. And if you're feeling like it, you can reach those arms up. But just remember where your shoulder flexibility is. Breathe. Shoulders away from the ears. And then hands come back to the thigh or all the way to the ground or on blocks. And then you're going to go into that lift. Press back through the back heel. Straighten out that back leg. And ease yourself into a nice deep lunge stretch here. Really getting some length in that psoas and through your quadricep and that back leg. Now notice in the front leg that the knee is staying over my ankle. It's not pressing out forward. It's in line. Back back is nice and lined up, so we're not hunched over that front leg. And then we're going to ease ourselves into a crescent pose. So hands go back to that thigh, come up to that thigh, ease yourself to more of a standing position. And then if you're feeling it, bring those arms up. Hands come back down. And then bring that knee back down behind you. Set the other knee with it. And then let's do 3 little push-ups. 3, 2, 1. Pushing back to child's pose. And then up to downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here. Ease your weight back onto your heels. Sits bones nice and high. Trying to get some length in the back of the legs now. Then the left leg's going to go up. And then you're just going to bring it forward in between those hands, away from the clothes, away from the thighs. Shoulders are down and back. Pressing the tailbone down slightly can lengthen you even more. Lifting up through the top of the head. And then we're going to come up, reach the arms up if you're feeling it. And then set the hands down, tuck the toes under, come up off of that back knee, press back through the back heel, press forward through the front knee without surpassing your foot and your toes, just getting length in those legs. And it takes some energy to press through that back heel to get it nice and straight and opening up the front of that thigh. And then we're going to come up a little bit into that low crescent pose. And then bring the arms up if you're feeling it. Pull the navel up and in. Press the tailbone down slightly. Lift up through the top of the head. Lift up through the hands and down through the shoulders. Lots of space for the neck. Press through that back heel. And then setting those hands down. Set that back knee down. Set the other knee down. 3 little push-ups. 1, 2, 3. Sit back on your heels. And then tuck the toes under. And we're back in downward facing dog. Okay, bring the left foot forward and come on up to standing so that you're facing me. Maybe that was right, maybe that was left. Go ahead and face me with really nice wide legs. Point the toes forward toward me. Bring your arms out. Take a look at where your feet are, where your hands are, and they should line up. Unless you're feeling unstable. If you're feeling unstable, bring your feet in a little bit closer. Now, in this, we want to recheck our alignment, head, ear, shoulder, ribs, hips, all in line. Have your hands right here on your hip bone. Breathe. Exhale and fold from your hips, not from your back and your waist. Breathe. Ease the sits bones back and the crown of the head forward. So the back of your neck is long. Your shoulders are down and back. They're not slumped over. You're pressing back to the back of your sits bones. Legs are long, spine is long. Now, if you are feeling it, you can bring your hands down a little bit, but what I don't want you to do is to collapse. So the back is still nice and flat and long. Just breathe into a longer stretch here. And then we're just going to ease from side to side. So you're going to bend one knee, come up through the center and bend the other knee. This should feel good and not painful. One of the issues that I see a lot is people not getting flexibility in the inner thigh and groin area, and that can cause pain down the road. So we want to keep flexibility in that area, of course. And I'm just going nice and easy, nothing crazy. Now my hands are floated down to the ground. It doesn't mean everybody's hands are going to be on the ground. Your hands might still be on your shin bones. You can also have your hands on a piece of furniture. So if you're not all the way down to the ground, you can have your hands on the ottoman or on a chair, something stable. And that gives your legs freedom, but it keeps your spine in line. Navel still pulled up and in. And come back to the center. Now take a breath here with a flat back. Exhale and release the spine. So lower back releases, middle back releases, upper back releases, head releases. Hands are resting either on the furniture, on your legs, or on the ground. And ease your weight forward into the ball of your feet, not lifting your heels. but just easing your weight forward allows you to get a little more stretch. Breathe. Exhale to pull your belly button up and in, and then stand all the way up. Cool. Let's turn our left foot forward towards the front of the mat. Right foot stays where it is. Okay. We're going to do that little thing where we're reaching forward and our hip goes back. Reach forward, hip goes back that way. I want them back that way. Back that way, so that you're making your body longer as you stretch. So what are we stretching? Underneath here, right? You feel that nice long stretch here, lengthening the sides of the body, lengthening the spine. Now reach, breathe, reach a little more. Find out where that is for you today. Lift up, reach the upper arm up, and then we're in our triangle or modified triangle. My triangle doesn't go very far. Yours might be way farther than mine. This is where mine's at. And I'm not going to slump into it to try to get closer to the ground. That's not the point. Breathe into those legs. Maybe open the heart a little bit. Make sure your shoulders are down, back, and away from your ears. Then come up and straighten yourself up. Here's another thing I want to do in that same direction. Turn your back foot. Turn your body. Get your hips to face the same direction as those front toes. And then you're going to fold with straight legs. This is a pyramid pose, and it's a really great stretch for the back of this front leg. So notice again, my hips are pointed forward, back of the neck nice and long, spine is nice and long. Breathe. And I'm going to give you an option now to go into a standing split. If you don't want to do standing split, just stay here. Okay? If you want to go into a standing split, get your legs a little bit closer together. And then your hands are going to come down towards the ground. That back leg is going to float up. And if you want to, you can set your hands on a piece of furniture here, or you can go all the way down to the ground, blocks, and just get both legs nice and long. So we're stretching both sides of both legs, trying to get both legs nice and long. Point that back toe up. Try to get the spine nice and long. Breathe. Pull the belly button up and in. That feels so good on the back of that leg. Breathe. Exhale, come up out of it. Ease yourself up out of it. And breathe. Okay, switching now to the other side. So start with your toes pointed forward. Then take the right toes, point them out. And we're going to start with this hip going that way and this hand going that way. Stretching. And releasing. So really great for the core. You can really feel the obliques lengthen, the rectus abdominis pull up and in, the transverse abdominis wrapping us all the way around, stabilizing the front and back body. You're reaching out for my hand, sending those hips back, getting a good stretch. Now we're going to stay there. Stay there. Breathe. Take an extra breath or two. Exhale, reach even further. And then if you want to, you reach that outside arm up. And this is our triangle for today. Breathe into it. We're in between two panes of glass. Open the heart up slightly, shoulder over shoulder. And then come up out of it. Okay, pyramid stretch on that side. So turning the toes slightly, hips go towards those toes. Find your position and then start folding over that front leg. So we're really trying to send the sits bone straight back, the front of the hip bone straight forward, getting that nice long spine. Find your stretch. I'm going to leave you in it for a moment to find it and breathe into it. Weight is distributed between both feet. Turn that back toe out just a little bit more. It helps me get a little more stretch. But all four corners of both feet are down. Now you can stay in pyramid or you can ease yourself into a standing split if you're feeling it today. I'm going to bring my feet a little closer together and then lifting that back leg, easing myself down towards the ground. So again, if you need to hold on to the wall, if you need to hold on to a piece of furniture, do that. If you want to put your hands on blocks, do that. Stretching into both legs. Nice and long here. Breathe. Stretch up through that back toe. Stretch through that bottom leg. Nice and long through the spine. And then ease yourself out of it. Woo. Okay, so let's do some stretches from all fours. Coming down to all fours now, hands under the shoulders and knees underneath the hips. Okay, so if we're sitting a lot, then our lower back tends to be compromised and our shoulders tend to be compromised. So we're just going to kind of loosen those up for a little stretch. Exhale to tuck your chin, press up in between your shoulders, round the spine and tuck the tailbone. That's your cat stretch. Your inhale is your cow stretch. Your exhale is your cat stretch. Go back and forth, in and out. Through each one, we're trying to get mobility through the spine and flexibility in between the vertebra and all those muscles around the spine to loosen up. Now stay in your cat stretch and move it forward and back. Sometimes you need a little more space and time to move this cat stretch around, especially if you're feeling tightness in your lower back. Really take the time to open that up, pull the belly button away, lift, 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 move that around a little bit. And then flatten out the tops of the feet, sit on your heels, open the knees, come down to your child's pose. See if you're a little lower this time. Heels and hips close to each other, shoulders close to the ground, chest close to the ground, belly away from your thighs. While we're down here, we're going to get a little shoulder stretch. So take your left hand, bring it underneath your right shoulder, palm up, and ease both shoulders closer to the ground. Come back through the center. Do the same thing on the other side. Reach underneath, palm up, ease both shoulders closer to the ground. Come back through the center. Walk your hands to the right side of your mat. Walk your hips to your left heel. So we're getting a side body stretch from your shoulder to your hip. Walk your hands through the middle and to the other side. Then come back to the middle. You're going to take your hands behind your back and hold your own hand. So your head can be all the way down, or it can be on your block or on a folded towel. Hands behind you, hold your own hand. Breathe, and if you're feeling it, lift your hands. Press back through your fingertips. As you breathe, you might find a little more space. If not, just ease into where you are today. Back of your head nice and tall, shoulders back and down. Breathe and reach up. Exhale to bring your elbows by your shoulders. Now press your hands back. Really open up that shoulder. Try to keep the elbow next to the shoulders. And then let's bring the palms down towards the ground. You're going to see that my left can't go very far. Okay, so easing those shoulders down, easing those palms down. Let's do each way again. So up, press the palms back. This is a daily thing for me, trying to get mobility back in my left shoulder and then coming down, seeing where we're at here, easing yourself into it. And then arms out to the side and just reach side to side without lifting your sits bones. Get nice and long through both sides of the body. And then come back to the middle and then rotate both sides. We'll rotate our cup. And hands come down to the knees. Now we're going to go into cow face. I want you to start with your left foot down and tuck your left foot by your right hip. Take the other foot and ease it across. Now this might be where you are today. So sits bones need to be down, head is up, back is nice and tall. If this is where you need to stay, just stay here and try to get this to lay flat and your body to be nice and tall. If you want to go to the next level, you take your right foot, swing it around, and the position is knee over knee, flexed feet next to your hips, body nice and tall. Now we're going to fold over this position. So when you fold, keep your back as flat as possible. Keep both of your hips down into the floor. Exhale as you come forward. Hands can be on blocks if you need the extra support. Breathe into this stretch here. And if you're struggling, just come up out of it. Give yourself a moment. And come on up out of it. Let's switch legs. So now we've got the right leg on the bottom, tucking the right foot by the left hip. Swing the left over it. This might be where we are today. Find it, both hips down. If you want to, you take it to the next level, knee over knee, flexed feet next to your hips, nice and tall. Take a breath. Exhale and fold with a flat back over both legs. And sometimes it takes a moment just to find where you need that sort of that IT band area that can get super tight from sitting or walking or running or anything really. And then come up out of it. Okay, let's untwine our legs here. Let's put the bottoms of the feet together and ease the knees open. Okay, probably a familiar stretch for you, but you might not have done it in a while. We have to reopen the inner thigh and the groin area. So again, that's an area that I see that gets injured a lot. We want to make sure we keep it flexible. Body is nice and tall. And here, all you need to do is bend your elbows. So when you bend your elbows with a flat back, you're going to feel a more extreme stretch in the inner thigh and groin area. If you want to, you peel the feet open even more to try to get a little more open. Bend the elbows from there with a flat back. It's going to be a nice little stretch. My super flexy people can lay over their feet with a flat back, but I don't want you to hunch over your legs. So the shoulders are still back and down, the back is nice and flat, and we're just bending our elbows and easing our body over the legs. And then come up out of it. Again, sit in a comfortable position. Now, I want you to take your right arm, reach it straight up, and then I want you to bend your elbow so that you can pat yourself right between the shoulder blades. Okay, so take the other hand and sort of ease that arm back. What I don't want to happen is for you to stick your chest out in order for that stretch to happen. Just a nice, easy stretch here. It's for the back of the triceps into your deltoid, your shoulder area. Let's release that. Let's see what happens with my left arm today. Take that hand behind you, pat yourself between the shoulder blades, and then ease into the stretch. So if these are really easy for you, what you can do is you can reach around and intertwine your fingers. Or you can take a towel and you can hold the towel with both hands and try to get your fingers closer to each other. That is a great way to do. Anytime that you're feeling like, I need to take a breath, I need to take a break, I'm feeling kind of tight, I'm feeling kind of tired, I'm feeling kind of lethargic, I need to be able to get back to work, I need my brain to work a little bit better, come back to these simple stretches, get the blood flowing, get the flexibility going, make your body feel better, and then we're more productive. So where our brain might tell us, no, you have to push through and you have to keep working and you have to keep going, the actual reality of things is that your body needs brain breaks very, very often. And it needs movement very, very often. As soon as you start to feel sluggish, give yourself a brain break, move, breathe, stretch, get outside if you can, and that will change your day. If you need more change in your day beyond just stretching, if you need a fitness regimen, if you need help with your nutrition, if you need something to keep you going in these days where we're stuck at home, if you're watching this when it's live, we're stuck away to help you. I always have programs going that can help you in fitness, nutrition, body healing, and recovery. You just let me know. Okay? Have a fantastic rest of your day. I hope this helped you. Let me know how things are going for you.